Just a final question, Liam, about Manchester City. They go to Cardiff at the weekend, 5-0, piece of cake. They lost at home to Lyon in the Champions League, and they deserved to lose. In fact, Memphis hit the post when he could have made it 3-1. Guardiola has said this in the last couple of weeks. He said the Premier League is not as good as it thinks it is. There's a lot of hype, he said, around it, but he said there isn't technically the teams in it, and although it's intense, it's not as good as it's cracked up to be. He said Europe is the thing, the Champions League is the thing, and that these teams from Europe are being underestimated by the English game in general. And I would say it was his lack of regard for the defensive side of the game that cost them those points against Lyon, because they were hopeless at the back, and Laporte was playing. They had their best team out. So where are you with that? I think this guy does not really consider defence to be as important as it should be.
Well, first of all, his first point about the Premier League, Eamon, I would agree with him largely with that, because you take away the top six, the rest of the teams, Manchester City, if their attitude is right, should be without too many problems, and going down to Cardiff were hopeless, and City scored 5 against them, and they've done that again. They do that against lots and lots of teams. But what I would say in response to his criticism of the Premier League is that it's tighter. It's a tighter league than any other league in Europe, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Because you've got 5 or 6 teams that all can beat one another and are probably in contention to win the title. However, you go on to the Champions League. It is another level, especially against a good French team like Lyon. And if you go into that game in any way complacent, and I thought they were very complacent, I watched that match. They were slow to move the ball. Fernandinho got caught twice on the ball in midfield that led to counter-attacks that led to the goals. I thought they were very, very complacent, and perhaps a good wake-up call for them. They're in an easy group that they should qualify as top. But to get off to that start wasn't what Guardiola wanted. What Guardiola is doing all season is chopping and changing his team. He's kind of got this kind of confidence or arrogance to say, well, I can pick any team I want to suit the opposition we're going to play. And I don't know whether you can do that if you really want to command the situation in both the Champions League and in the Premier League. And the other key factor, Eamon, is the De Bruyne being injured. He's a big miss for them. Yes,
yeah. John, the point about the Champions League, you're a big Manchester City and Guardiola devotee now. You've jumped.
What that means, actually.
Well, what it means is you love him.
I don't love him. I don't know him.
You do, and
I see what I see on the pitch, and what he's done on the pitch has been absolutely brilliant. Yeah. There's no doubt about that. I mean, he's talking about the Premiership being the best. I don't know why you read that, actually, Eamon.
No, he didn't. What he said, John, the Premier League is overrated, overhyped, and it's not as good as they think it. English people think it is.
We've agreed over the years.
We have
on that. Yeah. So there's nothing strange.
No, and the
about
point
that,
Liam makes, and I think I agree with it, is that when you look at the top 6, Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, Watford will leave out, Tottenham. They can generally or Manchester United, they can beat each other.
Yes,
which isn't the same in other countries.
No, so we'll rule that out then.
Yeah.
Okay. To get on to you're talking about changing the team and that. I think the managers have to do that now, Eamon.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the defensive element. The lack of balance in that team.
There is a lack of balance in the defence from what I would have and you would have as well. But you have to go on the overall effect. I mean, there was that balance was there last year.
Yeah, I said it won't hurt them in the Premier League, John. it will hurt them in the Champions League?
Well, we'll wait and see.
Okay.
We'll wait and see. They had a bad performance last week, really bad performance. There's no doubt about that. Nobody can hide that. Guardiola would know that himself. But let's see what happens. That's the first match in that particular competition. We'll have to wait and see a bit longer, Eamon, and see what if it's going to affect them that badly. But I keep saying, when we're talking, like Liverpool had a worse defence last year, and they got to the final of the Champions League, and if they had a goalkeeper, they might have won it.
Yep.
So I'm not saying everything is perfect, but in all the managers over years, none of them had it perfect.
Right.
So everything changes in time, whether it be Celtic or when Manchester United and all that. Now it's Guardiola doing what he's done or is doing or trying to do. But I think he has the panel to go on all fronts if that's what he wants to do.
Okay.